There they are. The most likely suspects in this small town, all gathered together to mourn the victim and their supposed close friend, Robert Marks. He was described by those in the know as wild, a womanizer, somebody easy to love and easy to hate. What can I tell you about Robert? And who'd want him to disappear? Well, that's why I'm here.
Beth Marks? Sorry about your father.
Who are you?
Isaiah Slade. I saw on the news how your sister Sloane is still missing, and I want to help find her.
What are you, a cop?
Used to be. Had you seen or spoken with Robert or Sloane recently?
A couple months ago, maybe longer. It's been about 4 weeks since she was on that boat with him. Seems like everyone in this fucking town has written her off as dead.
I see.
Some sad news now. A service was held today for local ranch owner Robert Marks at the Burns Divine Cemetery. It was 26 days ago that he and his daughter Sloane Marks went on a boating trip down the Atcha, and she is still considered missing. Of course, if you have any information on her possible whereabouts, please reach out to our...
Always a lot of chatter in places like this when something happens to a man like that. Add in the 16-year-old daughter who's still missing, and you can only hope that it amounts to something worthwhile.
How's it going?
I'd like a room.
Not many folks show up for our buffet. I'm just messing with you. There's no buffet here.
Do you have a room?
Oh yeah, we do have those. Let's give you lucky number 8. Just for tonight?
I don't know yet.
Well, it'll make a difference. I'll just charge your card as long as you're enjoying the town.
Did you know Robert Marks or his daughter Sloane?
Who?
The flyer. The missing girl.
Oh, no. Cops put that up. You're all set.
Thanks.
Would you come back here? Where would you run to? I decided to start at Robert's ranch, where Brandy Warner had been his live-in girlfriend here for the past year.
I'm here to see Brandy Warner. I was a friend of Robert's.
Yeah, I saw you at the cemetery. Brandy, huh? She went for a ride with her father and her brother.
How long have you worked here?
I don't know. Maybe 20 years. Robert was a good man. A great man. A great man and a great boss.
Any talk about what might have happened to him?
What do you mean, like foul play and shit?
Did he have enemies?
Not that I know of.
This old tree farm, it's still in business?
Yeah, for now it is anyway.
What's that mean?
Robert was in debt. Brandy helped him out. She got a loan from her father. But it didn't really matter anyway, because Robert always had this anxious vibe like.
Brandy's father is Garrett Warner?
Yeah, I think you know that.
So, Warner's gonna own part of this property.
All of it. That's the rumor anyway. You didn't hear that from me.
Oh shit. Must have been some loan. Friend of yours?
No. That's one of Warner's puppets.
Looks like he means business.
Yeah, since the whole Robert and Sloan thing went down. I don't know, man. Everything's on a knife's edge.
How well do you know Sloan?
I don't know how to answer that question. I was here when she was born. I taught her how to ride. I watched her grow up.
Sir, you need a pass to be on the property.
Yeah, I already told him that. He's just looking for Brandy.
She's not on the property.
That's what I was told. You work for Garrett Warner or just for her?
I'll need you to exit the property now, sir.
I'm just parked over on the road. Is it okay I walk back to my truck? And I'm gonna be stopping by Warner's Lodge if you'd be so kind to let him know I'm on my way. I'll be seeing you.
Anytime.
I believe everything he had to say, but with a guy like that, it's probably about more what he doesn't say. Brandy's father, Garrett Warner, the wealthiest landowner in the county, now taking over everything Robert owned. Some guys have all the luck. Maybe some of that luck will rub off on me.
Mr. Warner runs a local modeling agency on the side. A hobby, really. Part of his never getting married again plan.
Must keep him busy.
Oh, yeah. Very intelligent. He has a mind that doesn't quit. Juggles many things at once.
Is Brandy here?
Brandy, no. She grabbed the Land Rover and took off when we got back from the cemetery.
He's beautiful, yeah.
Well, our mysterious stranger. My security told me you're looking for my daughter.
I am.
Well, showing up at her boyfriend's funeral, that's one good way to get to the front of the line. Garrett Warner.
Isaiah Slade.
So you were a friend of Robert's?
I was.
Well, you're a friend of Robert's, you're a friend of mine. Heard a gator got him.
That's what they say.
Damn shame. Gator has a very powerful grip. He'll bite you, then he'll do what's called a death roll, spin you, take you down to the bottom, drown you, leave your body down in the mud, come back to eat you in a couple of days. Ruthless bastards. And this is my very privileged son, Maxwell. Son, stand up when you're introduced.
Don't want to interrupt, but I have got to get out to Danny's River Sunset. Wondered if I should ask about his pool designer. You know, get a bed.
Well, you've obviously met Tommy. We're not doing a pool. And don't ask me again.
Yes, sir.
Christ. You shoot.
Not bad.
Warners are practically born with a gun in their hand.
Looks like it.
You want to shoot?
I'm okay. You plan to build subdivisions over all this?
Yes, I do. I have big plans. All kinds of new jobs. Gonna make this a better place for everybody.
What about Robert's land?
What about it?
We can do whatever the fuck we want to do with Robert's ranch.
Son,
I heard he owed you money from a loan. So his ranch is all yours now instead of going to his daughters, Sloan and Beth.
Beth wasn't even in Robert's will.
Is that true?
I'm really not into gossip, Mr. Slade. Now, if Sloan is fell alive, she'll never have another want in this world as long as a Warner is alive. As for Beth, that's a different story. Let's just say that she wasn't in Robert's good graces. Hit it again, son.
Interesting pair. I'd say Maxwell has a chip on his shoulder. Just daddy issues? Could be. I've learned not to take any confrontation personal, especially when they're heavily armed. It's definitely convenient that Robert's neighboring tree farm and ranch could so easily be digested into the Warner portfolio. Maybe too convenient.
I saw you at Robert's funeral.
That's right.
You been looking for me?
I have.
Sorry about the security yesterday. Hope they weren't too unpleasant.
He's just doing his job.
You knew Robert?
And from his Keys trip. I came here to help find Sloan.
That's sweet of you. I'm happy to help. Any way I can. I don't have much time right now. I had a music video shoot scheduled months ago to film today. Everyone will arrive soon.
I can come back later.
I know. It must look terrible not to cancel the day after Robert's funeral, but he was such a strong supporter of my music career, and this director is one of the best and hardest to get. I just decided to think, what would Robert want me to do? And let that guide me.
Sure.
How long were you a cop?
A little over 10 years. How'd you know I was a cop?
My father called me, said he spoke with you.
I didn't tell him that.
He must have made enough of an impression that he looked you up.
That all he said?
He said you'd seem stand up, and that I should tell you anything I can to help you find Sloan. Special morning health tonic? Not bad.
Tastes healthy.
I'm good to go with the bad.
Something was said. Robert leaving Beth out of his will.
You mean if he had something to give after paying back my father?
I heard about that too. What about Beth, though? What was that about?
I am not one to talk with much judgment considering my own life, but Robert and Beth always had something stupid to argue about.
Was it ever about her drug habits?
What habits?
I read that she'd been on probation for possession.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's just the locals being cowboys. Pot never hurt anybody in my book.
She ever get violent?
On pot?
In general.
She slapped him maybe once or twice, but nothing I think he didn't have coming, to be honest.
He ever lash out at you?
No, he wouldn't dare. This is Sloane's room. I still dream about her return. Each day she's missing, I know the odds get worse.
It's still possible, though.
I hope so.
What about that morning? Did you ever go on their fishing trips?
Sometimes I did, but I had a recording session that went late the night before, so I was asleep.
Miss Warner?
Music calls. Mommy's like a mother to me. Garrett is terminally busy, you might say, at every age of my life.
And boyfriends that come into her life always feel my presence.
Glad I'm not a boyfriend.
Can I help you?
You were working here, and Robert Marks and his daughter went out on that boat and never came back?
You a detective?
No. Family friend. Just trying to help find the daughter.
Been seeing the news on it. Wish I could be more optimistic and shit, but hell, these waters, girl falls in there, man, really messes with me.
You knew him?
Oh yeah, well just from here. We talk while getting the boat ready some days. Nice people.
You talk about anything that day?
No, didn't talk to either of them. Went straight to the boat, trying to get back before that afternoon storm. Dad was rushing along to get them going.
Thanks.
What are the odds of seeing you here today, Mr. Slade?
You tell me.
I guess that's just the quirks of a small town.
Sure.
I've got a little business I've got to take care of myself today. Something you may be interested in. You up for taking a ride with me?
I could do that.
Do I trust him? No.
Morning, Captain.
Is it a good idea to get on a plane with one of my lead suspects? Probably not. But with the possibility of him trying to keep his enemies closer, I'll take that invite.
You really think a seatbelt's gonna save a man's soul, Mr. Slade?
I don't know. Is that why they wear them?
The strawberries, babe? Thank you, dear. This whiskey, been in my family since World War II. My grandfather had a distillery. Back during the war, he ceased making this fine whiskey to make penicillin. So when we drink this, we always say to adaptation and to fermentation. Cheers.
Cheers.
Hold up for a second, I'll be back to get you.
I gotta make amends. Make it right like she deserves. You know, it's a weird feeling. Having one of your kids full of so much hate for you.
Sorry that took so long. You think when a man writes a $10 million check, they could at least have the damn paperwork ready for him.
Any advice for someone wanting to get a spot like this?
Fear, it's the thief of dreams. And a fearful man, he'll fail.
Fucking waste of time.
Hello?
I wake you? Late night on the town.
Yeah, I must have been out.
My bad. Look, I've got a message. Maxwell Werner is coming here to see you.
Coming to see me. You say what for?
Not sure, boss. He just said to make sure I tell you he was coming. You know, the Warners own most of the town, even the lot this motel's on.
Look, when he gets here, you can send him my way.
Well, I told him your number, so he should just be straight up knocking is my guess.
Right.
Not sure if the phrase sitting duck is used often these days. I'm about as close to feeling it as a guy could get. With only our first armed encounter to go by, Maxwell will most likely be far from apologetic. But why now? What's this fresh need to mix it up in person? Since Maxwell was a no-show, I decided to go check out Robert's tree farm. Easy to access from multiple locations. Large enough area for someone to hide in without being seen. Plenty of stories tangled through these twisted branches.
So my officer told me that found you parked in back of the Marks property. No license on you.
I left my wallet in the motel room. I told him that.
What you doing out there?
Just looking for anyone suspicious.
Suspicious?
That's right.
Oh, you mean besides yourself? You find a lot of activity?
I came here to find Sloane, that's it.
Well, you think she might be hanging out in the woods there? Maybe we forgot to look for her on her own property.
Maybe.
Man, you know, it'd be a lot easier to just let you go like I planned to if you weren't such a dang prick. We looked into your story, called your old precinct in Memphis. They cleared you.
I'm not the bad guy here.
But you can understand that we can't be having folks we don't know hanging out on private property.
Sure. While I'm here, I had you on my list. I wanted to speak with Detective Alvarez.
Did you?
He was the lead investigator in Robert's case.
Yeah, he was. But he retired last week.
Really? After declaring Robert dead without a body?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where he retired to?
Somewhere with a beach, probably.
Maybe with Robert, minus a hand.
You trying to tell me Robert's still alive?
You don't have a body.
Shit.
Well, you don't. Could I get a phone number to this Alvarez? He's not in the witness protection, is he? Just retirement?
Yeah, I could get you a number. But I'm gonna tell you, if you're gonna be looking for Sloane, well, you best be careful where you go. Because we're the good guys, too. And there's plenty of bad guys out there that you could run into next time. Just keep it in mind.
You take care of yourself, Mr. Slade. You might want to bring that license with you next time.
What do we know?
Anonymous call less than an hour ago saying they found him. We better get down there quick before his gator food.
What about the lady?
She had just seen him when we pulled up. Ran over to us all hysterical.
Whose house we got out there?
Rack Jensen's. Wasn't home when we knocked on the door.
You make sure you talk with him today.
It looks real recent, Chief. A few hours at most with that blood.
You an expert now, Bobby?
No, sir.
No. Why would Maxwell Warner have matches from a place like the Dodge Motel?
My cousin told me they got there's certain kinds of women that'll visit up there, sir.
Your cousin, huh?
Well, he thought I could look into it for cracking down, but it's not in our jurisdiction.
And you couldn't make a call to someone whose jurisdiction it is. What the fuck is he doing here? This a crime scene, Slade. Come by to admire your handiwork?
Just following the crowd.
Well, you like hanging out so much you wouldn't mind coming back down to the station, would you? So we all get to know you even better.
I'd like to get some sleep first.
Brantley, escort Mr. Sleepyhead to your squad car.
Come on. Let's go, Slade.
Shit. Let's go.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm gonna take you to your car. You're a lucky man, Mr. Slade. Coroner confirmed that Maxwell was killed while you were in our custody this morning.
Why is that lucky?
We found a fresh matchbook from the Dodger Motel in Maxwell's pocket. Imagine my surprise when I talked to the lady working there. She says that's the motel where you're staying. Maxwell called the lobby yesterday and asked for your room number. Said he was coming to meet up with you.
I waited for him. He never showed up.
You knew him?
Met him first time day before, right after Robert's funeral.
Hey, in your short stay, how many folks you make an impression on who've been trying to set you up for murder?
Not sure. All this land, it's city-owned?
Private. But where you don't see houses, it's mostly protected by the state. That's why he didn't build on it.
He? One guy owns all this land? Garrett Warner owns all this land.
Mm-hmm.
Right where his son's body was dumped.
Oh, we don't know the body was dumped, Sherlock. But yes. See, Garrett rents out all the houses further in to some of the more low-income types.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I was hesitant to confront Warner right after his kid's funeral. If there was any chance of finding Sloan still alive, time was definitely not on my side.
Detective Alvarez, it's Isaiah Slade again. I left a message with you last week. I'm trying to get some information to help me find Sloan Marks, and I'd appreciate a call back. Thank you.
I would feel numb inside. I'd cut myself. My father treats it like I was ripping bark off the family tree. What would the town say?
Look at this. I am.
I had an accident. It was supposed to be an easy job. Things got out of hand. Months later, these huge chunks of time just disappear from my memory. I didn't know where I lived. Wouldn't know who I was. led me down the road of prescription drugs.
Plenty of drugs in this town. They'll find him in Max's body. And if they don't, it's because my father made it go away. That's what he does.
The man in the boat. Do you know him?
This creek is flowing right beside the border of Robert's Tree Farm. What are the odds? Any place that requires a boat ride through the swamps to get to is most likely a good destination to avoid.
Wait for me. You'll get the other half of this.
Unless you're in my shoes. Then it's the perfect place to go.
Hope I'm not interrupting anything.
No, you're not. You looking for Brandy? She's not here. She doesn't really come around here much anymore.
I'm not looking for Brandy.
Well, if you're trying to get me in trouble, you're doing a pretty good job of it. Security knows you're here. We're not supposed to be talking.
Warner gave me permission to be on any of his properties, actually, so there's that.
Oh, so you have VIP treatment now, is it? That's very nice.
What's the drug game you have going on here? I saw you in the tree farm, dealing with those swamp boys the other morning. Was Robert mixed up in that?
Dealing? Really? Take it easy. I don't deal. There's no dealing going on here.
I'm not a cop. I don't care what you're up to. I have my own vices and I don't judge. I'm just trying to find Sloan, that's it.
Look, I pick up things every now and then just to help me get by, like everybody else does.
Did Robert know about those guys?
Of course he did. Most of the town knew about them.
What about Beth? That why Robert cut her out of the will? Drugs?
You just don't get it. I'm a horse trainer. Horse trainers stay with their horses and they stay out of other people's business. That's my job. That's what I do. I train horses.
All right. I'm only pressing because I don't have anything. No offense.
I saw Beth and Robert having a huge screaming match, an argument right outside the stables.
When was this?
A few days before he died, maybe a week. I don't know the date.
You know what they were arguing about?
Brandy. Definitely Brandy.
I just want to talk.
About what?
I haven't been having much luck. I may be going home soon.
Heard about Maxwell's death. The whole town's going crazy.
It might be a sensitive subject, but I wanted to ask you about your father's will.
What about it? Garrett's getting everything my family owned.
No. The actual will. Why did Robert write you out of it?
Who knows with him?
I know you lied to me. About the last time you saw him. The two of you had a fight about
You
Brandy.
accusing me to be a suspect? Is that what this bullshit is?
I'm trying to find Sloan. Your sister. It doesn't help anyone if you're lying to me.
You can leave now.
Sloan. She's been like a teacher for me. Showing me the errors of my life on a new level. What a horror I was. So many of those loved ones around me.
Mr. Slade,
Yeah.
I'd like to speak with you about Robert Marks.
Okay.
Not over the phone.
Do you want to meet sometime? Tomorrow morning?
I don't want to stay in town. I'd like it to be tonight.
Sure. Where would you like to meet? Hello? Hello? Whoa. You wanted to talk?
Nah, we good.
Oh, he's so sweet, though.
We need to drown him, make it look like an accident.
Who sent you? I'll pay you more than that.
You're the talk of the town. Are you okay?
I'm alive.
I could be there for you. If you wanted me to. Despite my exciting upbringing, guns still make me nervous. Have you killed someone before? You don't have to say anything.
Does that hurt?
Does that hurt?
You trying to hurt me?
I don't know. Maybe.
What, don't you trust her?
Trust me? Yeah, sure. I mean, she's young. She's got a whole life ahead of her. I'm not gonna force her to live it the rest of mine.
That's very big of you.
You see, that's growth.
Yeah, what, another 5, 10 years easy?
Well, if I'm lucky, maybe another 15 for this old man.
See you rolling out of the main house these days. Nice view.
I ran into some of your friends the other night.
I wouldn't call them friends. I don't know anything about it.
I need you to get something for me.
Why don't we go talk inside? I don't have anything for ADHD shit, but you feel cloudy, this will definitely do the trick. Why don't you just use the prescription for the weak stuff if it works for you?
Yeah, I had one. Got flagged.
You'll want to be careful not to be seen around town with those goodies. Unless you're with Brandy. You know, the Warners, they wash everything away.
You try it first.
You don't trust me?
I do. Just not with my life. All right.
Let's get out of here. You owe me one, Slade.
Was overdose levels of meth in her bloodstream. Truck driver saw her in a ditch.
So Sloan was just a wandering teenage drug addict who conveniently OD'd on the side of the road.
I didn't say we were ruling out foul play.
She had no history with drugs.
I know it. She was a great kid. Maybe Robert's death, pressure of it all led her down a path she just couldn't make it back from.
I just want the truth. Doesn't seem to be around in this town.
There they are.
Beth and Sloan.
Your two sisters.
3 kids, 3 mothers.
You want to hit me? Is that it?
No. Can I keep these?
Yeah, sure. I tell you, Sloane's gonna flip out when she finds out she's got an older brother. A brother that's old enough to be her father. Oh, man.
I knew the drill. He's a guy who's really good at keeping in the moment. His moment. I wonder if he even told Sloan about me.
I don't think he told anybody.
Beth definitely doesn't know. I should have just told her that first day we met, but I didn't want to complicate things any more than they already were. What about you? Is it weird being with me?
I don't know. Maybe the more I think about it, it will be.
It's really something to wake up to your friend there. Thought someone was staring at me in my sleep the other day. You wear those wigs when you go out on the town?
No, they're from my stupid music videos. I saved them for some reason. My ego thought it might be important someday, but no one gives a shit about my music.
Deliveries?
No, I'm here to see Mr. Warner. This is Isaiah Slade.
Mr. Warner is out of town on business until this evening.
How long's he been gone?
Thank you.
Hello? Speaking. Detective Alvarez. That's right.
Not again.
was very close with your father. I even met you when you were a little boy.
So you declare him dead of an accidental drowning after only finding his hand? I can't imagine why you weren't close anymore.
I deserved that.
Might as well have called Sloane dead back then. She would have died one day.
Well, the coroner's report listed her death as an overdose.
We already know that. That why you had me drive all the way out here to tell me that?
I was forced to write that report. And I was paid to retire. Extra. Under the table. My entire career I was above board. The last few years, started to slip. Had a financial incident and someone grabbed that information and used it as leverage. You could say that the department isn't fully independent.
Garrett's running things.
It's the only money in town. He pays everybody's salaries nicely, funds re-election campaigns, keeps the department's budget solid.
Garrett wanted Robert declared dead so he could make back his loan and take over the ranch lands.
He said it was for the sanity of his daughter, but my thinking follows yours.
I've talked to Brandy enough. She doesn't seem that upset.
It was part of her past. She cut herself over boyfriend breakups. She turned back to drugs. I didn't just take the money out of greed, you know. Garrett's foot was on my throat.
You think he had my father killed?
I honestly don't know. Robert made his impressions on plenty of people in town. And Brandy was supposedly seeing Brack Jensen on the side.
Brack. Is that a nickname?
It's birth name. Genuine swamp trash.
Chief pointed out his house from Maxwell's crime scene. Brack involved in the drugs out there on Garrett's swamplands?
Who's the point man? I thought you'd heard that about him already.
I'm not exactly getting cooperation from your old team.
The Swamp Boys started out solo. They mainly running meth and stolen opioids. Everyone was instructed to turn a blind eye because they rented the properties on Garrett's land.
Garrett's profiting from the drugs?
He does, but he stays clean. Charges them sky-high rent in exchange for keeping the department off their backs. Any retaliation, and Garrett's gonna turn them all in.
Maybe that's something Maxwell got caught up in.
Could be.
Brandy. Does she know about this? Everything Brack's running?
Should have to.
I need to speak to Brandy.
She's out of town, recording.
Recording?
Music.
Is there a way I can get a hold of her? It's an emergency?
I'm not authorized to give out her phone number, but if you want to relay a message through me.
Do you know when she'll be back?
Whenever she's done.
Isaiah Slade to see Mr. Warner again?
Deliveries?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Slade, you have a unique ability to show up at my home unannounced. You know, most people come to this part of the country for the food, for the culture, for the great hunting that we offer. You, on the other hand, seem to only come for our funerals. Have a seat. People around here can take care of themselves, fix anything, farm anything. Maxwell, he was a good kid. Tough to be my son. Big shoes to fill. Tried to make him tough. Tried to make him a man. Brandy? Different story. After she's out of college, I'm gonna cut her off. Make her strong, fend for herself. Not gonna make her dependent upon a man for anything. You're being awfully quiet, Mr. Slade. I assume you have some questions you'd like to ask me.
I know about Brack. Your rent deal with the Swamp Boys. Is that why Maxwell's dead?
I realized you first came here to find Sloan. She's gone. You searching for some kind of justice? Some kind of purpose?
Or maybe just the truth.
Excuse me. Yeah. Well, where's Tommy? Goddamn coyotes. Tommy, I'm at the gate to the Marks property, doing your goddamn job. Get over here. What are you trying to prove? That I'm a landlord to some drug dealers? You gonna call the cops on me for that?
I want to find out who killed Robert and Sloan.
It wasn't me.
Maxwell's body was found 200 yards away from the ditch that Sloan was buried in. Your tenant, Brack Jensen, lives right next to that property.
What about it?
What was Maxwell doing over there? Was he talking to Brack for you? To one of Brack's buddies?
I collect rent checks. That's it.
Brack's rent is your piece of the drug money. Right? You've been blackmailing him and his buddies for it ever since you found out about it.
How's it looking?
We've got us a coyote in here.
Should I get out the rifle?
I'd handle it peacefully if I could, but I can't.
He's gone. They were long gone by the time I got up there. They definitely knew what they were doing.
You think it was several of them?
No idea.
Christ almighty. That was a brave thing you did, Tommy. You could have been killed too.
He would have done the same thing for me.
Hey, Bill. Found 3 bullet cases over there by the burn.
Good work.
That's one hell of a range.
Tommy, there haven't been any unusual phone calls or visitors coming through here since Maxwell's passing. Nothing suspicious.
Nothing.
Well, we're gonna need to get in touch with Brandy ASAP. Make sure this isn't isolated to just Garrett.
She's out of town for her music, but I'll make that call.
Thank you. And you the closest thing in family she got left.
Jensen.
Tommy here.
Yeah, she was. I think she went to the main house.
Who are you?
I don't work here, man. Just a designer.
What are you designing?
New pool in the back lot.
Did Garrett ask you for that? You know he's dead.
Follow the tracks.
This is the ATV the killer used.
How do you know?
Fourth bullet casing on the ground here. Might be able to get a print out of it. Brack Jensen killed Garrett. You know him?
I do. Son of a bitch.
Brack's dead too. Found his body last night, along with a suicide note and the rifle he used on Garrett.
Crazy fuck. Did you call the police?
I couldn't find the ATV at his house. I was just looking for the ATV.
Must have ditched it here to not be easily seen.
Unless he had someone pick him up from here. And he holed up here until dark.
Makes sense.
Did Garrett change his mind about the pool? I just spoke with the designer.
He had a change of heart about his subdivision plans after Max died. That kind of loss will do that to a person. Your ankle feeling itchy? Go ahead, scratch it.
I was just picking up the casing.
Leave it. Throw your gun to me. I honestly don't know who the bigger asshole was between Garrett and Robert. They both had uniquely inflated egos. But the more time I spend with you, the more I'm reminded of just how much worse Robert was. And you have that same shit-eating grin. It's like a true son.
So you killed Robert?
Kill your daddy, I'd never do such a thing.
What about Brandy? You kill her too?
Brandy is the only Warner that ever acknowledged my contribution. was no chance you'd go away for good, was there? Robert's long lost son. I had many drinks with that man, and I'm sorry to say, not once did he ever mention you. Oh!
Now you owe me twice.
How you holding up?
Isaiah. Are you okay?
Sure. I'm glad that you're safe. I didn't know if Tommy had told you the news.
Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy. She tell you your father's been murdered? See, we spent some time together that next day before she tried to kill me.
She didn't. She would never do something like that, ever.
She did. But she's dead now. So, it all worked out for me. There she is. Hello, sis. I didn't know if you knew the big secret, but considering Tommy did, I assumed you did too.
How did you find us?
I came here with Garrett when he signed the papers. It only made sense you'd make it your own like everything else. Great boat out there. What do you say we do a little day trip? Sound fun? Let's go. Tommy had all the motive in the world, preserving her precious lodge. I pressed her on killing Maxwell, and she didn't deny it either. But I didn't know you two were partners until she said she'd never hurt you.
Do tell us more of your amazing theories, Detective.
Okay. Sloan wasn't on that trip with Robert. You were. And you killed him on that boat.
Wow. What are you on, and can you get us some?
You killed Brack, too. My witness said Brack bragged about sleeping with you for months. Long before Robert was dead.
You've really been thinking a lot about me, haven't you? I guess I should be flattered.
Sloan died when she was with Brack. Was her overdose accidental? Or did Brack kill her on purpose?
Sloan was never supposed to die.
Beth!
Well, she wasn't. Brack was only supposed to be holding on to her for us.
Brack takes the fall for everything. Robert, Garrett, Maxwell, two of you, ride off into the sunset with Sloan and Tommy and the Warner family fortune.
Tommy would have stayed in town. The lodge was her part of it.
You're a psychopath. You actually trust her? You tell me everything I've said is the truth, and I'll spare you.
Beth, that drawer right in front of you. There's a pistol in it.
Don't.
Take it out.
You think I have any loyalties to her after what I know?
Shoot him.
Don't press me.
Shoot him.
Don't.
Do it. They're blanks.
Well, there you have it. Almost half of Robert's funeral guests wanted him dead. And look at me. A regular chip off the old block.
Ladies. Sorry for interrupting.
Not at all. We found a real strength in our shared bosses. Did you receive my check for your upcoming campaign?
I did. Thank you. Look, I'm sorry to bother you, but I'm here on official business.
Oh,